do you use this thing? Is it just like a simple... So just like everybody else, I've been waiting for the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, for like ever. For those of you that don't know, I've been a Spider-Man fan like my entire life. I watched all the movies, played most of the games, and read some, not all, of the comics. So
I'm something of a scientist myself.
So seeing little Tom Holland going against Sam Raimi's Dr. Octopus, played by Alfred Molina, just made me all jittery inside.
If I were a rich man, all day long I'd biddy biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man.
So the trailer basically confirms we're going multiverse, baby.
I'm sorry, you're saying there's a multiverse? Because I thought that was just theoretical. I mean, that completely changes how we understand the initial singularity. And how does that even work with all the quantum? It's insane.
And with the ongoing rumor that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are also going to be in this film, let's just say my spider sense has been tingling a little too much.
I have like a sixth sense.
The Peter tingle. That's what you're talking about, right? It's not working, though. I heard it wasn't working right now. Is it?
It is working. Well, I don't know if it's working.
Okay, so you got Peter tingle.
Please do not start calling it my Peter tingle.
So following the hype, I decided to rewatch all of the Spider-Man films. You know, the Tobey run, the Andrew run, and the Tom run. And with that being said, I want to give my opinion on who I feel is the best Spider-Man. So I feel like picking one actor out of the three and just being like, "You're the best Spider-Man, kid," is more difficult than it sounds. So I'm breaking it up into three categories. The best Peter Parker, the best Spider-Man, and then the best of both worlds. Now, I can't stress this enough that these are my opinions, and you're totally entitled to feel that I'm a
criminal! He's a menace to the entire city!
And I'll only be judging based off the characteristics and personalities of the actor, so not like the main plot or the villains or anything like that. So, let's start. First up, the best Peter Parker. Now, before I decide who the best Peter Parker is, I feel like I have to define who Peter Parker is. Peter Parker is a genius, playboy, billionaire, philanthropist. Oh wait, that might be someone else. No, but for real, he is a genius, but he's also like a clumsy, dorky, cringy heart of gold. So, with that being said, I'm pretty sure it's no surprise that I'm giving it to Tobey Maguire. Tobey 100% embodies all the characteristics of Peter Parker. Like, every time he's on the screen, he's just like a cringy nobody, and I just want to pinch his cheeks. Like, Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker is just way too cool. Like, you know, he's a 6-foot-tall genius with puppy dog eyes that could skateboard. There's no way he's not web-flinging pussy, you know what I mean? Like, plus, his Peter Parker's kind of like a savage, you know? Officer Stacy on his deathbed was like, hey, Peter, please don't bring my daughter into this. I don't want her to die like me, you know? Please, this is a promise you can't break. But then Andrew was like, but those are the best kind. Hey, look, I sure hope he doesn't break that promise. And Tom definitely hit a lot of the characteristics of a Peter Parker, but he's just like too normal. Did that make sense?
La tía de una italiana que está buenísima.
¿Cómo está tu hija, eh?
$10. $10.
It's $5.
For that comment, $10.
Hey, come on, I'm joking.
So for me, the best Peter Parker is Tobey Maguire. He's definitely the best high schooler in a school full of 30-something-year-olds.
It's all yours, man.
Now let's talk about the best Spider-Man. This one's really hard because all of them are like really good Spider-Men in their own right. Tobey's is iconic, and Tom's is truly a story of a youthful Spider-Man finding himself in a world filled with the Avengers. But honestly, in my opinion, Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. His physicality and creativity, especially when it comes to his web slinging, is some of the most Spider-Man things like I've ever seen.
Day here in the city. New clouds to start us off.
The steady increase in sightings of Spider-Man has sparked a national debate over the role of vigilantism in American crime fight.
And like another important Spider-Man characteristic is like his quips. And Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man had some of the best quips out of all of them.
You know, in the future, if you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief, man. Knock, knock. Mr. Criminal. Hey, my name is Spider-Man. You can call me Webhead. You can call me Amazing. Just don't call me late for dinner. You get it?
Like, he was like the only Spider-Man that genuinely made me laugh.
Just let me go. Is that a knife? Is that a real knife? Yes, it's a real knife. My weakness, it's small knives. Just let me go. Anything but knives! Oh, it's so simple.
Another thing is that the heart of his Spider-Man legit made me cry. There's a scene in The Amazing Spider-Man 1 where a car is falling off a bridge and like the car's on fire, and he saves this child by giving up his identity to prove that he's just a regular person and he shouldn't be scary. And like, it made me cry. It inspired the kid. The kid was like burning in a car that made no sense. The kid should definitely burn alive. But it made me cry, okay?
The mask. It's gonna make you strong. Jack, trust me. Put it on.
And then in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he saves a kid from getting beaten up, and then that kid comes back later, and it's super inspiring. And it's awesome. It just makes you cry.
You made this? No way. I'll walk you home. What's your name?
Jorge.
Jorge? I'm Spider-Man. Hey, Spider-Man. You're the bravest kid I've ever seen. I'm gonna take care of this, Jake. You go take care of your mom, okay?
And then we can't forget like the iconic scene where New York just helps him with all the freaking support beams and everything to web sling to fight the lizard. Dope as hell. But then again, Tobey Maguire had a lot of like, New York help Spider-Man.
Leave Spider-Man alone! You got a pick on a guy trying to save a bunch of kids? Oh yeah, I got some for your ass! You mess with Spidey, you mess with New York! You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us!
He's mine!
You want to get to him, you got to go through me.
And me.
Which is cool too, but this one was just so fucking. And let's be real, I love Tobey, but his Spider-Man was just a Mary Jane simp the entire trilogy.
Mary Jane! Hang on, Mary Jane! Hang on, Mary Jane!
Hi.
Hold on, Mary Jane! Mary Jane!
And Tom Spider-Man kind of gets his hand held by Tony Stark and a Karen.
You can call me Karen if you would like. Good evening, Peter.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Would you like to see more options? You have 576 possible web shooter combinations.
Mr. Stark really overdid it.
But Tobey does have his honorable mentions, like in the first one, the Green Goblin fight scene.
I offered you friendship, and you spat in my face.
In Spider-Man 2, the Dr. Octopus train scene. And in Spider-Man 3, when he fights Venom using the poles, fucking iconic. But still, I, in my opinion, have to give the best Spider-Man to Andrew Garfield. And finally, Tom Holland is literally the Hannah Montana of the Spider-Man. He's literally a high schooler living a double life as a celebrity that struggles maintaining his normal life with his secret life. But honestly, in my opinion, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the perfect combination of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Remember earlier when I said that Tom hits most of the characteristics of Peter Parker, but he just seemed too normal? Well, that's not a bad thing. If anything, that's great because it sets up like a tone of community in his movies, and he genuinely feels like the first friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that we've gotten the entire time.
Whoa! It smells really good. I got him. Here.
You're that Spider guy on YouTube, right?
Call me Spider-Man!
Okay, Spider-Man! Don't flip! Yeah!
And not only that, Peter Parker, for the most part, has always been that young high school kid that has to grow into the responsibilities of becoming a superhero, and Tom is literally the embodiment of that, so Like, so far, the entire franchise has just been how he's struggling with becoming a superhero, but at the same time, having a regular life, you know, like dating girls or hanging out with your friends.
No, I'm coming.
Andrew Garfield barely touched high school, and when he did, he was up Gwen Stacy like...
Pizza time.
And Toby, as I said earlier, was literally in a high school full of 30-year-olds.
Proceed direct. Knock it off. Remember, it is a privilege to be here.
And a big thing that a lot of people criticized Tom Holland's Spider-Man for was because it felt like he was getting his hand held by Tony Stark. But honestly, that's like really important for his character development.
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet.
What are you doing? Oh, this is nice.
He becomes so reliant on the suit that it becomes essential, to the point where Tony Stark himself brings up the idea.
What if somebody had died tonight?
I just wanted to be like you.
And I wanted you to be better.
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
Then he takes away the suit that he was so dependent on, truly making Peter find himself as Spider-Man.
Hello?
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
Come on, Spider-Man.
And then to have his entire life turned upside down by a villain that he already developed trust issues from.
But that's not all, folks. Here's the real blockbuster. Brace yourselves, you might want to sit out.
Spider-Man's real name is...
Look, at the end of the day, I enjoy all of them. I've enjoyed watching like all of the movies, some less than others, but along the way I did discover that each of them were the best Spider-Man at something in their own ways. Tobey being the best Peter Parker, Andrew being the best Spider-Man.
All right, that's enough. Mike? Yeah. Big John? It's a pleasure doing business with you.
And Tom Holland being the Hannah Montana. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Again, this was just my opinion after rewatching all of the Spider-Man. It was really just I wanted a reason to talk about someone, about how I felt, and no one wanted to listen because I just like streamed all of the Spider-Man in like 3 days and everyone thought I was crazy. So thank you for listening, and hey, please consider subscribing. You know, leave a like. It's free. You don't really got to. Thanks again for watching, guys. Now I gotta go because I got bit by a weird-looking spider, and a web is coming out of a place you wouldn't expect, but that's just me. Okay, bye.
Now dig on this.